Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Now I apologise for my appearance, but there is no other way to describe it other than I am absolutely bloody exhausted. My insomnia is back in full force. It never fully goes away, but sometimes I get these tiny little periods where I can get more sleep than just a few hours. But right now I am barely scraping by on anything, and I am a walking, talking zombie and could just flop down any second and be completely in a comatose. I am that exhausted and I just could not be bothered to do my hair and all that today. So I apologise for my appearance. Now, obviously, you all know that I have been struggling these past few weeks, and I've been struggling to basically live a life or even exist. So I've been going to therapy, obviously, and that's been hard in dealing with that. But my therapist gave me a book, and the book is based on, I don't know if you've ever heard of Toad and Toad Hall and Mole and Badger. It's based on that story, and it's called Counselling for Toads, a Psychological Adventure by Robert DeBord. Based on The Wind and the Willows. That's the book I was thinking of, The Wind and the Willows. But this is for Toad, and it's basically about how Toad has got depressed and it needs counselling, and it's sort of like a psychological sort of adventure in that sense. And I was really skeptic because I haven't been able to read a book in so long because I can't get my mind to focus. I can't take in the words or anything, and it's pretty long. But I actually managed to do it in one sitting, which is quite good. Once you get into it, it grabs your attention. And it's really good for anyone going through therapy or even thinking about therapy, because it sort of takes you through the journey of what it means and what therapy's like and what you sort of have to do in order to sort of get to the other side of the big wall that is what you've put up, and sort of help start knocking it down. And I was really surprised how much I understood of it, because obviously I've gone to therapy for so long, but they throw a lot of big words at you, and some you understand, some you don't understand. But it's really surprising how when it's put in when you view it in someone else's case, like when you think about all your problems and all that, it's quite hard to understand and visualize it. But when you're thinking of someone else going through it, or reading about someone else and seeing their story and hearing sort of the words and the diagnosis is thrown on them, it makes it a lot more easier to understand. So it's helped me sort of understand and be able to sort of help navigate me into what I really want to do now. So I really recommend it. My therapist thought that it might help, especially with me feeling like I've lost my identity. I wasn't really sure what I was doing anymore, and I sort of lost that purpose for life. And she thought that that book might help just sort of, give me a bit of an insight into it. And it really, really has. Sort of, it takes you through what it means to have therapy and what it means to be that low, and it sort of shows you how it affects everyone around you, and also how the people around you behaviours also affect you. And it's just a really good read for anyone who's in depression or anything like that, who wants to understand more about their depression and more about if you're thinking about therapy and all that. It's a really, really good book to sort of get you into and thinking about how you can move forward. It really motivated me, because obviously I've been lacking motivation lately. I've just been like, I don't know, just a completely dead weight lately, not really living, not really existing. So once I read that, it's not like a magic cure. You don't suddenly finish the book and you close it and you're like, oh my god, everything's okay and all this now. It doesn't work like that. It also helped me realise how much therapy has done for me so far, and how far along I've come from before I started any therapy, before I did anything, and how stronger I am for going through all the pain and all the heartache, how much stronger of a person I am, and how much more capable of having a life I am now. And it gave me some courage and motivation to just be like, you know what, these past few weeks have been hell. You have been at the bottom of this pit, but now is the time to sort of try and get back up. So after reading this book, it was sort of like, I don't want to just lie at the bottom of the pit and wait for the end. I want to try and look around and see what supplies I can gather to try and help crawl myself out of this pit. And that's sort of what I've been doing. And reading that book has really, really helped. So I really recommend it for anyone who's thinking about therapy, going through therapy, got depression or anything like that. It's just a really good book. It helps you understand what it's like when you've just lost the meaning of everything, and how to build yourself back up again, and how to learn to trust others. And also it also explains the steps and the big sort of words of therapy as well, which I found really useful, because sometimes the big medical words used in therapy are extremely hard to understand, and it explains what they mean in detail and in simple terms for dumb humans like me that don't really understand the big medical words. Obviously, it's not a quick fix. It's going to take a while for me to feel like I can breathe and live a day again. But I've got a bit of motivation behind me, and I think I'm doing well. There is some days where, I feel like all life is lost and what's the point, and I'm very down. But I've also had a few good days where I've spent time outside my room. I found some good little moments that I can hold on to, and those are the moments that are going to help me drag out. And my therapist has been really, really good. She's really helped me find a way to work out how to figure out who I am again, and how to bring back my identity, and how to sort of bring me out of this darkness into the light. So it's not much change from the past few weeks, from reading that book and then from the hard sessions of therapy that I've had with my therapist. I've all of a sudden got the motivation to get back up again and try this thing called life again, and just see what I can do to not give up. And that's all you really can do, is just try and try again. That's the best thing you can do, is just to keep trying, no matter how many times you get knocked over, is to just get back up and try. It doesn't matter. As long as you get back up eventually, it doesn't matter how long you spend on the floor in the dirt. As long as you get back up again and try, that's all that matters. And I've had a few weeks of lying in the dirt, very grey and cold and just very miserable, but now is the time for me to try and see if I can use the courage and the strength that I have inside of me to find ways to build myself back together again. And I think I can do it, because I'm a lot stronger than I was all those years ago, and I am not the same suicidal person I was all those many years ago. I'm a lot stronger, I have a lot more courage, and I've gone through a hell of a lot that's helped me get through everything, and I can do this. I know I can do it. So thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you next week. Bye guys.